Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Fatality League of Legends $5,000 tournament. We are going to be starting game number 2 as soon as Team Solo Mid is able to get into the game. But for those of you asking about the Facebook contest, we do have a winner, and I do hope I am going to say this right, Phantom Lord. Chris Long. Long or Long? C-L-U-O-N-G. So Chris Long, you have won yourself that grand prize, and we're going to be setting up the next question for a headset Sound Blaster card, Fatality combo for you guys in just a few moments. Is that how I say it, Chris Long? Long?
Yeah, I think that's good. I think it's Long.
I'm slipping on my pronunciations tonight.
That's alright. I did so with Psycho, remember?
Sudoku, Psycho, yeah.
Sidco,
yeah, indeed. So congratulations again, Chris. Now we do have the next question ready to go. Fatality has now made it, and this is how you can win yourself a headset and sound card. All you got to do is go to facebook.com/Fatal1ty Gaming Gear. It's in the chat. Just linked it up right now. The latest question should be posted, and that question is, who makes the Fatality 1000 watt power supply unit? Answer it correctly. We're going to put you through a random number generator by the end of this game, and you could win yourself a new headset and sound card. Pretty awesome, I think, just for watching.
That is extremely awesome.
Now, this is going to be game number 2. Team Solo Mid, you know, they're down 1-0 up against Jester Average Joes, who did have to come in from a qualifying round. So, I mean, they weren't invited to this tournament, but they are the team that has succeeded in winning all the way here to the finals. And that was a pretty strong combo we just saw.
Yep, that was basically Average Joe's signature. I do think that we might see that being rolled out again if Team Solo Mid does not ban out Urgot and Nautilus, and I think AP Cog they might, but you know, if they do that, they're going to leave up those OP picks, possibly even Shen, and possibly even Shyvana and Rise. So who knows what composition Average Joe's has under their sleeve, but if they do get denied that, they most likely have something under their belt that they can turn to do as well as they did last game. This is their game to lose, so they are pretty happy now that they are beating a top North American team. They're feeling good, and I'm sure that's going to really motivate them to play their best. Sometimes we do see teams that, you know, be a little bit too cocky and might make mistakes as a result, but I don't think that's going to happen with them. They are psyched up, and they're the underdogs of this, so this might actually be a upset.
Well, they're definitely up 1-0, so this is their game to lose, but they are so very close to $5,000 to kickstart what could become like one of the new pro teams, at least in the North American bracket. It does look like we are waiting on Odd One, probably getting drunk or something, if I know the TSM boys, but who knows? We're just going to be waiting out for them. And guys, Fatality has given me another question to give you guys mid-game for Facebook. So, you're going to have 2 chances here at winning some of these Sound Blaster headsets and sound cards. So we gave away 2 today. We've given away 2 gave away 2 yesterday, 2 today. So that means, I guess, that these last 2 questions are going to be the grand prize in the middle of the game, and right now you can go answer that question for the headsets, and that will be our prizes for the day. So that is, again, headset and sound card combo going up right now. Go to Facebook, answer the question. It's in chat. There you go. Facebook.com Fatal1ty Gaming Gear. And then mid-game, we're going to give away another question. Mid-game, we're going to announce both those winners at the end of this one. Hopefully we're going to go to a game number 3, but Fatal1ty just loves you guys that much. So,
yeah, Jester, who do we have to thank for all of these gifts? Of course, Fatality has done a great job really supporting the esports scene and the League of Legends scene by giving away all these gifts. I believe this is the first tournament we've ever seen where they, just giving away a lot of gifts to the viewers. So who are all these sponsors that we have to thank?
Well, we can definitely thank Sound Blaster Gaming, OCZ, AS Rock, and Newegg. Everyone here has donated to this tournament. They're giving away all these fabulous prizes, due to their generosity. And of course, Fatal1ty hosting it, putting up the cash. So tournaments like these don't happen without sponsors like them, guys. And you're here on this stream supporting them. That tells them that, hey, we should keep doing this. We should throw more tournaments. So again, big thanks from all of us here at Fatal1ty and for coming here supporting this, because this can only mean we got more to come. Now I do see that the game has started up, so Mr. Phantom Lord, would you like to do your thing?
Of course, we also just have to throw a little bit in there. We also have to thank Fatal1ty Gaming Gear. Of course, Fatal1ty is the one that has made all of this possible. Big thanks for him. But let's jump into the champ select that we are now rolling out with these quick bans from both teams. We do see on blue side we have Team Solo Mid once again, and on purple side we have Average Joe's. Average Joe's is up 1 game right now. They did win a really close game last game, but they pulled through with an interesting strategy. So let's see if they're going to be able to do it again. We do have the bans from Team Solo Mid. We have Ari, Kog'Maw, and Lee Sin. So they just wanted to deny that Kog'Maw. They didn't really feel that AP Kog'Maw is something they wanted to deal with again, and he is indeed banned. So taking a look at the bans from purple side for Average Joe's, they have Cassiopeia. Of course, Cassiopeia, one of the strongest AP champions that Reginald does have in his arsenal. Rise as well, a really strong AP mid, and of course Shen getting that out of the game. So take a look at the first pick. We do have X Special going to be playing that Janna again, most likely with his Clairvoyance that he's been running pretty much all these games in the tournament. And for the first 2 picks for Average Joe's, we have Shyvana going to be played by One Bad Brad, most likely in the jungle, and Spellzy once again going on Taric. I believe he is one of the few people I see play Taric in the tournament level, but of course they are running that really strong strategy. Team Solo Mid might actually let Average Joe's play the same composition with the Urgot, but no, looks like they do lock in Urgot, denying that from the Average Joe's. So that Taric pick might have been baited. Of course, there is a lot of strategy in this champ select. Behind the scenes, there's a lot of discussion, there's a lot of baiting and picks, a lot of mental games going out between both teams. It's I would almost say that the 50% of the game is in champ select, because sometimes teams come out of champ select and they know they're gonna lose because they have a terrible composition. But these are of course top teams. We do have Team Solo Mid, one of the most known teams in the world, and our underdogs right now who are up 1 game, Average Joe's. So they might have something else under their belt. Well, it's look like they are going to be picking Corki and Ziggs. So Captain Korea is going to be playing Ziggs mid against Reginald, again playing Morgana. So that is a pretty interesting matchup. Ziggs does sort of win that early game. We see Vladimir and Nocturne being picked up by Team Solo Mid. Vladimir most likely going to be played top lane by Dyrus, and we're going to have Chaos playing Urgot with X Special on Janna bottom lane. And is that going to be a Nocturne jungle by when it might be? He likes to do the Maokai. Of course, he made that famous, and of course Nocturne also has a huge benefit to the team. Doesn't really have the strongest level 1. He does have his Fear, which does take some positioning to get off. Of course, if he wraps around in mid lane or top lane or any other lane and is able to position himself between the enemy champion where the enemy champion wants to go, he'll get that Fear off even if a flash is burned. And yes, he is going to lock in that Nocturne, so we're going to have a lot of map coverage. Of course, that Clairvoyance on X Special will help with those Nocturne ults. Of course, if the Clairvoyance is thrown down and there is scouted of a enemy running away, Odd One will be able to ult and pick up that kill. So we do have Odd One on Nocturne versus mid the jungle, which is going to be played by One Bad Brad on Shyvana. Top lane, we're going to have Vladimir versus Irelia. Dyrus on Vladimir versus Zion Spartan, who basically was the MVP of last game, just doing so well with the disadvantage top and really focusing on to Chaos and blowing up even through a 1v5, just diving into the team. So he did a great job last game. We might see him do that once again here in this second game matchup. Bottom lane, we do have Janna and Urgot now on Team Solo mid side, so they did snipe that Urgot from Average Joe's versus the Taric and Corki. Spellsy on Taric and Zig on Corki. Corki, of course, is a really strong bursty AD. He is rocking the last second change to Flash, or to Ignite there. He Ignite, I'm sorry. He did decide to swap out that heal for Ignite, so we're going to have Spellsy with the heal and exhaust, and Zig rolling with the Flash and Ignite. Now, sometimes Corkis do choose to not get Flash, because they do have, Corki does have that Valkyrie to get away, so he is going to instead choose to pick up that Flash, assuming that he will be targeted in that team fight. And most likely it's because of the ult from Morgana and the Nocturne, so he'll need to get away even more than just a Valkyrie if he does use it before he gets put in that situation. So mid lane we're going to have Reginald on Morgana versus Captain Korea on Ziggs. Ziggs, of course, should win that lane. He does have a lot of early aggression, especially with his auto attack, having that passive every 12 seconds or 10 seconds, I believe it comes up, and he's able to just throw out a lot of damage. Now I want to take a look at these mid lane runes. Let's check out the Ziggs really quickly. He does not have any magic resistance runes at all, so he's going to be going straight damage. He's going to have the opportunity to do a lot of damage onto Reginald. He is running 15 magic ability power quintessences. He does have AP per level blues and mana regen yellows, and then of course magic pen on his reds. Now taking a look at Reginald really quickly, we'll see Reginald almost the same thing. Yep, so both players mid lane running no defensive stats. They're running all AP runes. They're running AP per level, so they're going to be doing a lot of damage in that regard. Sometimes players do decide to play with some MR with this matchup. I'm a little bit surprised Reginald isn't running any MR runes, because he is sort of being almost countered against Ziggs. Ziggs does really well against Morgana. But both teams, taking a look at the composition, I like Team Solo Mid's composition a lot more. Of course, Dyrus throwing down his ultimate to synchronize with Reginald's ultimate just do so much damage. I think that the Irelia pick from Zion Part was really strong. It was a really good pick because they do have a lot of CC and a lot of stun abilities on Team Solo Mid. So Average Joe's, they did really well this first game. They're not getting that Nautilus Urgot composition that they had, and they dominated from the first game. But we should see some good play out from them as we go into the last 15 seconds for the match. I would say my bet is on Team Solo Mid here. I do think they have the better composition, especially for early level 1, so we might see an invade from them. What do you think, Jester?
Well, we've seen both teams go head-to-head now, and we're going to get this rolling. I gotta say, I've been very impressed with Just Your Average Joe, so I'm looking at them. I know what they can do. I know what they're capable of. That's the wrong button. There we go. But I'm going to go with Just Your Average Joe. I think they have a very good chance at sweeping 2-0 over Team Solo Mid. That's just my personal feeling. Zion Spartan playing extremely well, and Captain Korea able to land so many kills. I'm just flat out impressed. So my money's on them. Of course, I'd love to see a game number 3 of this Fatality series, because the games number 3s are the best, the most hype, and that's where you can really see some true play coming down to it. But I'll be okay if Just Your Average Joes come out and do this kind of upset thing.
Yeah, it will be a big upset. There will most likely be a lot said on the forums. Of course, this is probably I believe the first tournament with this new Team Solo Mid lineup. Dyrus, of course, leaving EG to come on to Team Solo Mid, getting that opportunity to play for them on the top lane, and has done really well so far. I'm really happy that we get to see that robot Urgot skin. I didn't like that original Urgot skin. that
It's a little grotesque, yeah.
yeah, it's just so cool. It's one of the coolest models in the game. Here we are launching into the second game of the grand finals. Average Joe's versus Team Solo Mid. Two great teams, and we should see some level 1 action here because both teams have pretty good level 1 compositions.
Baby weights off, says Dyrus. Good luck, have fun, place your bets, ladies and gentlemen. Team Solo Mid with this new top laner Dyrus, who's been living with them for ages. This will be their first, I guess, real test as a team. They have been playing in another tournament this weekend, and they have been doing extremely well, but this is probably the first time they've run into this kind of big opposition in a big tournament. I know they were doing the Go for LoL a little bit earlier, and they used that comp to get into the finals here, but, TSM, fan favorite. Put down your bets. Just your average Joes, however, are here, and they're not making life easy at all for Team Solo Mid. Up 1-0. This is definitely their game to lose. If they play it out straight, then they either win themselves a $5,000 cash courtesy of Fatal1ty Gaming Gear. So as you can see early off, we got that 5-man invade going. Last round I thought it was a little strange because everyone was like really spread out. But no, we're going back to the 5-man roams, and it does not look like each team is going to encounter each other. Which means I guess that Just Your Average Joe is going to head on back and start business as usual.
They might actually get a counter jungle here and take Odd1's blue. Odd1 does start, Nocturne does start at his race and continues on to Wolves, and then blue, we do see the bottom lane backing out. They want to get there as fast as they can. They do know that Chaos and a special, one of the best bottom lane team members in the game, they're going to take that double gomps. And why that double gomps is so important is because it gives a little bit of not only just the goal, but it gives that XP advantage. So when Chaos and a special turn level 2, they're able to use those spells and give themselves the advantage because they can most of the time catch the enemy players off guard. But unfortunately, Odd1 doesn't get the best leash on his red. The red did reset.
Oh no.
And he's going to have a little bit of a fallback from that. It did run all the way back. It was sort of a little weird bug, but I believe Chaos did accidentally get aggro and ran out of the distance. We see one bad Brad taking Odd1's blue. Odd1 has no idea. I believe, he has an idea because Dyrus was over there to clear it.
Yep.
So Team Solo Mid does know. And we see Odd1 now, of course, going to be going over to the enemy blue with X Special to sort of throw down a ward, most likely, to protect any sort of gank onto that blue. He's just going to help the damage.
Now, X Special could be putting down a ward here just to keep up, vision on the enemy jungler, but no, he's not going to bother. They do get the blue here for Odd1, so that will make him a little bit happier in terms of the jungling. Now, Chaos has been pushed basically out of lane. He's way back here without his support. Going 2-on-1 is just something he can't really do. That was an awesome Q. That was just a gigantic rocket, so I did not actually notice that before. But Zig down here with Corki up against Urgot. Zig played extremely well last round as well, so we're going to have to see how this turns out. And Reginald, of course, with the Morgana up against the Ziggs. I think every time we've seen a Ziggs, he's won. Could be foreshadowing.
Captain Korea has done a fantastic job on Ziggs. We do see top lane here. One bad Brad coming onto the gank on Dyrus. He does pull, and Zion Sport does flash. There's a little bit of miscommunication there. Dyrus does get the first blood, and one bad Brad is under the tower. Is Dyrus going to get a double kill? Yes, he does.
Worst top NA, folks. Dyrus with the double.
So
man, oh man.
Zion Spartan there, he did flash in a wall. One bad Brad did back off, so a little bit of miscommunication there between two players. That is going to help out Team Solo Mid so much. Dyrus now has double buffs. He's going to have that gold. Of course, he's happy. Who wouldn't be? That's 2 gold up, 2 kills up, and he's just going to have a great time in that lane now.
Big damage coming down here onto Urgot from this bottom lane, but we do got Odd1 cruising in. He is going to be spotted by that ward. They are going to see it. No pings, but they do know he's there. They back off. It's going to be cool. Zion Spartan got to be feeling the pain out of that one. It reminds me of one of Dyrus's videos where he went 13 health pot Mordekaiser mid lane, and then he got a double kill after they dived him. I got to say, I feel a very big vibe like that out of him right now. This could be his game.
I did hear a little bit on chat that Reginald was yelling at Darius and wasn't really happy with him. We did see, you know, late teleports from last game. He didn't really show up to the team fight as fast as he needed to be. So, you know, now I think he's going to make Reginald happy and carry the game.
Did you notice his pickup? 4-minute Hextech Revolver.
Oh my goodness, that's going to be so bad for Zion Spartan. Vladimir, you know, he's the champion has a lot of abilities, you know, utility to do a lot of damage, but he's just so squishy early on because his disadvantage is basically his cooldowns, and that's why they say Vladimir is only really good until level 9 because that's when he gets rank 5 on his Q. And oh my goodness, look at all that damage onto Zion Spartan. He just cannot deal with it. He's going to be forced to back off, and that huge wave is going to push in Darius's favor. He's going to be freezing it right there because he doesn't care about any damage he's going to take. He's Vladimir. He's going to heal it back. And I'm really worried about Zion Spartan top lane.
Yeah, red and blue. It's a very happy Vladimir to have all those buffs. And, you know, we have pretty close to 1,000 gold lead right off the bat. Dyrus is now rocking himself 31 creep kills to the 27 of Zion Spartan. So it's actually the creep kills not as off as I would have expected after a death and now an extra, you know, back to town for Zion Spartan. But as you did say, Dyrus, he's not going to let this reach his tower. He has now worn off the red and the blue. Reginald is going off for a little bit of a walk, throwing down a ward right there by the Wraiths. And, you know, Captain Korea, something we like to see with Ziggs is, especially now that he's level 6, he has, you know, 3 levels into the bouncing bomb, 1 into the Hextech. He can just clear those Wraiths at any time that he wants with his one combo.
And that's why Ziggs is such a good thing. But look at top, we have an ultimate and ignite down by Darius, you know, playing it safe. He's running around. He did pull. I don't think that was the best, but it's fine. He's most likely going to steal this kill, but no, look at Darius falling really low! Oh my goodness! Zion! What the heck?
Very well played on Zion Spartan's point. Oh my goodness.
I cannot believe my eyes. I think Darius just made a big fool of himself there. Messed up with his tide. He shouldn't have blown that. You know, Aurelia can go back and forth and dodge to that bush, but I don't know what to say. That's not like Darius.
There's nothing really to say there. The chat is going crazy. But Darius, unfortunately, now blowing that excruciating lead he had over top of Zion Spartan. But that's alright. He picks himself up and amplifying. He's going to come back to lane. Zion really shutting down that good vibe he had right there. That was extremely awesome. That was just awesome.
I mean, Zion knew that he had to stick his ground. Of course, the ignite and ultimate go down by Darius, but Vladimir's ultimate, you know, it makes enemies take 12% increased damage for 5 seconds. So if Darius is not doing any abilities and he's just throwing his ultimate down for damage, the ultimate only does 150 plus. Right now he has only 77 to the ability power to that ability, so it doesn't do that much damage. And because Zion, you know, on Aurelia has that lifesteal through auto attacks, was able to amazingly deal enough damage in that bush and kill Darius as a result. So I believe that's why Aurelia's getting
check this down
bottom
here.
lane.
Yeah, Chaos gets initiates onto spells he doesn't get initiated, but yeah, we also had Odd One with his ultimate. That's going to be a kill right there. Corki very bravely running away on his Earth and not going to be caught in any kind of crossfire. But with that kill, this could be a dragon at 8 minutes 56 seconds, and it does look like we are going to be gathering up and taking this round. Looks like you were looking at the same play as I was. How do you do that?
I don't know, just look around the map. I have that map awareness, my eyes just follow. But look at this top, we have one bad bread coming in to Dyrus. There is the initiate ult from Dyrus onto one bad bread and Zion Spartan, so they are a little bit too low and they back out as a result. But down bottom we have Ziggs and Captain Korea coming in to put some aggression onto X Special. He falls really low, but he's going to get away just fine. Reginald here creeping in the bush. This is so important. He gets the binding onto Captain Korea. There is the ultimate from Reginald. Spellsy is there, but nope, it is not enough. Captain Korea does die. Great play there by Reginald. I really like how mid lanes do that. You know, they keep an eye on their lane. If they be or walk out of the lane, they usually can tell what they're doing, if they're going to go buy an item or take race or go help down at Dragon. And Reginald saw that they had the ward there in the area, so he waited for Captain Korea to come back and basically punished him, getting a full combo on him, a binding and pull and ult with Ignite was enough damage to take him down. So Reginald's feeling good. He has a blue. He's winning the lane. And top lane, we just have a lot of damage coming out on Dyrus. Zion back in basically a good position to deal with Dyrus. And I'm just so impressed with Zion's play today.
Yeah, Zion's rocking that null magic mantle, gives him that little extra magic resist, and that's all Dyrus can really throw at him is all that magic damage. So Spartan looking alright. Dyrus, he throws out all that harass, but Zion at this point just does not care. Now, it is important to note we do have that Will of the Ancients now finished up. I'm looking bottom though. Spellsy again getting jumped upon, but X Special melts unexpectedly. We do have that exhaust going down onto Chaos, but I don't think it's going to be enough. Zig will Valkyrie, and he's going to grab that kill and maybe even pick up a third here on Odd1. But what turned out to be initiation by Chaos turned into both his and X Special's death, as Odd1 now gets to babysit the lane. And I'm fairly sure he does not want to be here at this point.
I really want to point out what a great play Zig did there. We had Chaos fall out of vision in that bush. Spellsy taking a few tower hits here, so Zig can finish off the tower. Nope, he's not going to. But yeah, Zig didn't pop his Valkyrie right away. He had the Valkyrie up. Instead of ulting or Valkyrie into that bush, he just walked into it. He knew that Chaos did not have his flash up because it was burnt in that previous fight, so he just walked into the bush. He got an auto attack off and an ult, and then Valkyrie closed the gap. Instead of burning your Valkyrie and maybe getting dodged upon or throwing an ult and getting a little bit behind as far as distance because of that animation cast for the ultimate. So he did a really good play there, and I'm very impressed with Ziggs.
Now, hopefully, during this downtime, this will be a perfect opportunity. We do have a quick news alert here from Fatal1ty. The last question of the day, the last fan, the Facebook fan contest is now up. Question, go to, well, that's not the question, but the question is, what company does Creative, AS Rock, Sound Blaster, and OCZ work with for all of their gaming products? The big hint is you're watching his stream right now, so go to facebook.com/Fatal1ty Gaming Gear, answer the question, and that will be, I believe, our last grand prize that we're giving away today, which means we will have two winners tonight to announce for the win of all those gear, as we're going to watch Reginald just try to take out this top lane. Looks like Spellsy was able to take out X Special down south, but Zion Spartan does drop, and one bad Brad with the Ignite. It's going to be enough for Dyrus to pick up that kill. Now, we do have Captain Korea chasing them off. Dyrus is still going to be alive, but that is warded. Could we possibly see a Ziggs ultimate? Nope, he already used it. So Dyrus is going to be able to walk out of this A-okay, and it does look like Chaos is just going to get totally bullied out of this bottom lane.
Yeah, Team Solomid did a great job there grouping up as three members. We had Reginald, Odd1, and Dyrus all grouping on top of that tower. They did know that a few members of Average Joe were low under that tower, and so they took that advantage. They were aware that Ziggs was there, so it was a 3v3, but so much damage came out to one bad Brad on Shyvana. He did fall from the last tick of Ignite, and they did take that little win as far as the kill on Shyvana and Aurelia.
That puts us now 6-4. We're still up in kills for, I almost said Dyrus, but we're still up in those kills for Team Solo Mid, 6-4, and about more or less 1,000 gold gain at this point. Now that we do have one tower down for, does look like, yeah, Team Solo Mid, and, business is just going to be keeping going. Dyrus is back up here. He has those Merc treads, and this is something that you remarked upon last game, is that none of Team Solo Mid had any Merc treads. So, good idea? Bad idea?
Well, there is the CC slow from Aurelia, of course, the stun and the slow. So he is building that Merc treads to be able to win that lane that he's in right now. He knows he's going to have to go up against Zion Spartan in 1v1s, which will happen quite often. So that is a pick for the lane matchup, I believe. I don't think it's picked for the team fighting, which will come later in the game. The only other stun he should have is the stun from Tarek, and then a little bit of the kind of stun movement interruption by Ziggs. His W does do like a second of stun interruption, even though it's not exactly a stun ability. Of course, if he lands it properly, but you know, Dyrus can pull out of those kind of CCs. So the Merchants, I believe, is indefinitely for that lane matchup. But look at mid lane, we do have 4 members of Team Solo Mid grouping up. I believe they're going to be trying to take this blue buff here. Ziggs is getting dangerously close, and look at that. There's the flash ult from Chaos. Captain Korea is just going to fall down. There's nothing he can do. He does get his ult out in time, but it is not enough. And Team Solo Mid, creating the opportunity for themselves, are going to take this dragon.
Well, they were already, you know, gathered up, and I suspected that they wanted to really try to catch someone as they were going to come down here because the dragon icon was back up. They suspected it was warded, which is a good call on their part. But it's 4 versus 3, and we're running away. Reginald now finally going to be coming back in. Only gets the one Spellsy into his ultimate, but no, Odd One's going to be jumping in, looking for the kill on top of Tarek, and he will get it. Chaos going to be putting him down. And now we do have one Bad Brad in here, but he's just going to get completely melted. And that's going to be 3 kills now for Solo Mid to 0. And they're just going to calmly go start working on this winged beast once more.
Unfortunately, Zig does not have his ult up, so he can't throw that huge bomb into the pit, the Mega Inferno bomb, to steal that dragon. He's just going to walk back to his lane. I bet he's not feeling too happy getting caught there, giving Team Solo Mid that advantage to do, you know, dragon and not have too much to contest. But that was a great job there by Spellsy, Zig, and One Bad Brad, sort of moving around the dragon area, trying to contest it. You know, letting Team Solo Mid say, you know, hey, we're here. We're not going to let you take it so easily. But, you know, they focused Spellsy. They took him down. One Bad Brad also fell, and Team Solo Mid got that dragon. So they're doing quite well right now. They're where they want to be. Taking a look at the CS count for top lane to start, we have Dyrus with 3 kills, 1 death, 134 CS to 1 kill on Zion Spartan. Of course, that 1 kill, that clutch kill that we are all amazed upon. And he is at 116 CS. So Dyrus doing really well top lane. He does have that Will of the Ancients and needlessly large rod, so he's going to be able to, you know, sit there in the lane, freezing it as he's doing. He doesn't care about the damage he's taking from minions because he'll just heal that right back up. Mid lane, we do have Ziggs at 130 CS to Reginald at 2 kills and 137 CS. So Reginald doing a better job there. And then bottom lane at the 80s, we have 87 CS on Chaos. He has 3 kills, even though his CS is quite low. He does have 3 kills, but look at this. Corki, Zig, 2 kills and 148 CS.
Quite the farming monsters. Yeah, we're not even at the 20-minute mark. Like, teams can't even surrender if this was going even worse than it is. But that's quite a bit of cash to their name. Let's just take a quick look at the totals. And, you know, 4,000s, 5,000s, 6,000 for that Dyrus. He's definitely the richest of the rich at this point. But, you know, we are starting to get to that point where these bigger items and all that cash is going to start meaning something. Dyrus just hit 13. Zion Spartan is 12. Bad Brad is up here, but Dyrus is just playing such a great games of footsies down here that I'm not too sure Bad Brad's going to have any chance to come in here. And as you can see, Zion Spartan starts off the initiation to no avail. Dyrus is too smart for that.
Mid lane, we did have Reginald try and run past the tower to get a binding onto Captain Korea, and it took a few tower hits. Captain Korea did follow through with an ultimate, so his ult is down, and Reginald did survive with about 200 HP. Odd One was there to sort of support, but it wasn't enough, and Odd One's going to take that tower down because of the number of stage. But look at bottom.
Spellsy takes that binding like a champ and drops to Reginald X Special as well as Chaos. And yeah, Corki again, Earth's tail between his legs, has to run off. Dyrus going to be trying to stop that blue, but unfortunately did not. Odd One able to, or not Odd One, sorry. One Bad Brad able to pick that one up. But we do have some pings going down. The Clairvoyance going out. Odd One and X Special is here. Yep, there's no wards whatsoever. Captain Korea, however, will discover this. He's going to walk right into the Odd One. Yeah, that's right. Throwing out the Q here from X Special. It is going to become a 3-on-2. The ultimate from X Special really helping out that positioning for Team Solo Mid as they're able to take down Captain Korea, but Corki takes down X Special in retaliation, and now this might not be so good for Reginald and Chaos down here. They're getting 3-on-1. Reginald's already blown all of his tricks, and Chaos, I'm not too sure you want to be turning around. There goes that Zonias. Here's the ultimate. Zig, however, is not going to be taking any of it, and that's going to be dropping 2 Team Solo mid members. And Zion Spartan is not exactly the healthiest. Odd One might be able to pick it up, but he got stunned. Not too shabby at all. Zig in the background. There's Spellsy coming in as well. If we can get a stun off onto Odd One. There's the Valkyrie trying to throw down the deeps, and Spellsy for sure will get this stun. Oh, great spell shield right there. It's not going to matter whatsoever. Not too sure he should have chased that, but 11-8 now the score. Team Solo mid not coming off good on that fight.
Odd One was going in very close to 3 members of Average Joe's who were really, really low. And he decided to fear. I don't think he had enough mana to lay down his Q. If he did have enough mana, he could have gotten possibly a double kill there. And, you know, he decided to instead fear, and it just wasn't the right thing. And, of course, you know, because of the fact he had no mana, he couldn't take those really, really, really easy kills that he could have possibly gotten if he had enough mana.
They didn't
Very
even take
unfortunate
the blue.
for him.
Captain Korea now has
Nope.
it. Oh man, bad news stacked upon bad news in that team fight for Team Solo mid.
So mid lane, we're gonna have Captain Korea with his blue be able to do a lot of damage to Reginald, tossing out those bombs whenever they are up. He does have the unlimited mana, so to speak, but he's gonna decide to back out here and get some more items. His tower is down, so Reginald, the point of mid lane now is he's just gonna be putting a pool on the back lane right in the middle, and you know, clearing that out to let him go around to whatever part of the map he would like to, so he can go top lane, he can go bottom lane, he can go take the race or do something. But that's what the strength of Morgana mid lane is, just pushing that lane out as fast as you can and then doing something else. But unfortunately right now there is nothing for him to do. We do see a ping down on Dragon, so Average Joe's might be signaling to each other, hey, Dragon's coming up soon, we need to get over here and contest. Zion Spartan was beam, but did decide to stop. So if Dragon is up soon, we do see the flash mid lane.
Oh, that's a dead Ziggs. We saw this combo before. The flash ultimate from Chaos is a great initiator, and even Odd One throwing down his ultimate on top of that. And yeah, there's nothing a little Yordle can do against that kind of aggression. Dyrus has now come down. That's going to let Zion Spartan farm that top a little bit more freely. It does look like, however, this Dragon will be dropping for Team Solo mid, and that's just going to keep them in the gold lead, sitting about 4,000 or so. And what are they going to do against Zion Spartan? He's going to be landing a lot of damage onto this tower, or he's just going to run away. That's cool too. Yeah.
So an excellent job here on by Chaos on Team Solo mid. They know that the main objective Dragon is going to be coming up soon, so he made that play there, flashing and ulting onto Captain Korea on Ziggs, and because that Ziggs got burnt down and died, they you know, Average Joe's could not contest that Dragon 4v5, even though that some of their ultimates were down from Team Solo mid. So it's funny to see Chaos doing exactly what was done to him last game, sort of frustrated, I could imagine, you know, like every single time Zig would ult Chaos and he would just get burnt down when he was on MF, and now he's doing the exact same thing back to Average Joe's. We do see a few members running around mid. Yep, our Dragon. I'm Baron, I'm sorry.
Yeah, but we had so many pings going down on top of X Special. They knew she was alone, but Zion Spartan was too interested in Dyrus. If she had gotten there, you know, earlier and cut off X Special, we might have a very dead Janna, or at least a burned Flash Janna. Look at this! Carrick's going to go in, stop Zion Spartan from going anywhere, but that's all he can really do about it. There's no team there to back him up whatsoever. But look at this X Special, just keep running around, clearing out the sites, and you know, that's very indicative that we want control of this Baron. He is up. He's a majestic creature in his natural habitat, but I don't know. You think TSM's going to go for it? Are they going to attempt?
I don't know. Take a look at Corky's items here. He has 5 kills, a Trinity Force, and a BF Sword, so he is very, very scary right now. Zig is in a great position. He's happy with the amount of damage he can do. So I don't think Team Solo Mid want to risk anything. They really want to. Calx is going to want to, do his flash ult onto Zig. Zig does have his flash and Valkyrie to get away. So as long as he's not out of position, and in the team fight, he can do so much damage with his ult, poking down someone from a distance, then Average Joe's should have a good opportunity to win a team fight here. They do have a good comp. Ziggs does have a lot of damage. Probably going to be building his Rabadon's death cap right now, so we should see a lot more damage. Yep. There it is.
Good call. Now I'm looking around just at all the various heroes right now, just showing everyone off their items at this point. But something I did notice on Dyrus is he has chain armor, which means we're going to have double Zhonya's rocking for Team Solo Mid. Now with a Morgana, she is another big AP champion. We already got one Will of the Ancients. Is it worth getting a double for her, or not worth it for Morgana?
Not worth it, Morgana. She doesn't use enough spells. But look at this. Zion Spartan gets caught by a binding, is forced to flash out.
But doesn't matter. We're still going to ult it right on top of Shyvana. She's going to jump out. Ziggs with the ultimate. Lands it pretty much on X-Special. He just drops. Dyrus, however, is going to drop to 3 people's focus. But Chaos is going to be able to take down the Dragon Lady. So that's a 1-for-1 at this point. So we did lose Dyrus, but we have lost one bad Brad. Not exactly a clear winner. Oh my goodness, that Hextech Minefield taking so much damage out of both Reginald and Odd One. We get that stun off into a bouncing bomb, but it's not going to be enough to follow up anywhere. Corki is not even anywhere near the fight anymore. Dyrus really wanted to take down that Corki, get him out of the fight, but unfortunately, he just got kited too far into 3 of Just Your Average Joes, and he did drop. Ziggs getting away with that. 3 assists to his name now. And you can see Zion Spartan just going around looking for stuff to deny because TSM is all up in this top tower, and there's no resistance at all.
Yeah, that was really dangerous of Dyrus, the tunnel vision, trying to go for that kill. Of course, he did peer out into 4 members of Average Joes, as you said. And he did not pay attention to where the rest of his team was and fell almost immediately. He did have Ignite on top of him, so he wasn't able to get that additional 50% spell vamp because Ignite, does cut off 50% healing reduction from spells and effects. So I really like how both these teams, after the team fights, they're not going back to base. They are instantly taking any sort of opportunity they can to come ahead, and we saw Team Solo Mid take that top tower when we didn't know. Average Joes didn't really understand exactly what to do, but they're grouped up now. They might create an opportunity for themselves. They see that ward placed down. Spellsy does have an Oracle, and look at this. X-Special is caught off. He might fall down here. Nope, he's going to throw a tornado out, and he should be fine.
I'm going to huff, and I'm going to puff, and blow your house down. Yeah, 3 of them going for a ride right there. No Baron attempts at all, but hello, Dyrus. What's that? You want to go 2-on-1? Sure, let's do it. Zion Spartan in hot pursuit. The pool now blown. We got the Ziggs ultimate going out, but it is just not enough to pick him off. But one bad Brad jumping in will be able to get him. The tower really doing a good number on top of Captain Korea, but Urgot's able to take out Spellsy, and now we got Nocturne ult. Landing, I think, on top of, the dragon. There we go. There's Odd One. I was hoping that maybe we were able to catch Captain Korea, but looks like he will be safe. Big thing, Corki, I don't think he actually came into that fight, did he?
No, he didn't. He just wasn't close enough to do anything, and it was so funny how Dyrus just completely got focused. He did sort of walk into the enemy team. He didn't really check his positions, didn't react fast enough, and but he did ult immediately. He did Tides of Blood immediately, and I don't know why, but Average Joe's decided to just dive him. That's like something these top players don't really do. That's like a solo queue mistake, and they did suffer the penalty because of it. They had 2 members of their team die, and Team Solo Mid does have a little bit more gold now. Dyrus feeling a little bit better, even though he died. He did give Team Solo Mid his that advantage from that little exchange. But look at this, we do have Average Joe's grouping up now. They're going to try and take mid lane, and I don't think it's... Nope, it's not going to be enough. The dragon is up.
It's gonna say, is Dyrus just gonna do the same thing, walk into the enemy team? I'm looking at Dyrus, though, 500 ability power, and you know, him and Reginald, they're basically on par with items. We just don't quite have that Zonia's now for Dyrus, and there's still, you know, it's really close. Reginald's almost rocking that 500 AP as well, and that's just a lot of damage that these guys are throwing at just your average Joes. Chaos locks someone down, and you're pretty much insta-giving anyone, but it does look like the Winged Beast will drop. And I think that's the first Dragon now for just your average Joes this game.
I believe so. Team Summit doesn't have any coverage on the Dragon area. If they just had one ward, they could have saw that one Bad Brad was indeed doing Dragon, so they could have immediately responded and started Baron. Or the same thing for seeing that Corky Zig did back out to base, so of course he had no mana. They could have forced a team fight there. All this information is just so vital to know, and that's why warding and map coverage is so important, because Team Solomid, they could have had an even stronger advantage, a stronger lead for their team if they reacted to knowing the information, but they did not, unfortunately.
Both Irelia as well as Shyvana now rocking Wits and both of them. And quick Silver Sash, you know, that's been very big here for our Corky. He's had it for about 5-6 minutes. And overall, I mean, those are three very big heroes for Just Travis Show, all rocking that extra magic resist. And, you know, that's really been helping them in these team fights. Yes, they're down in kills, but their gold is only about 3k. Looking at Spellsy, is just going to take a lot of damage. It's not going to be quite enough. Does not look like we're going to commit to that. Zion Spartan with the ultimate, as well as the Hex Tech going down, keeping TSM at bay. But that's at least going to equalize out the towers. And again, we're about 3k gold within each other. So despite having a 6 kill lead right now for Team Solo Mid, the game's not really that off from an even game.
No, it's not now. Team Solomon is going to do some sort of play here because they know Spellsy and Aurelia did burn a few things. Spellsy popped his heal, and Aurelia burned her her ultimate. So yes, they are going to try and force a fight here. We do see them starting onto Baron. They might be baiting. They know that, there we go. We see the binding from Reginald. They want to try and do something here, and I don't think they're in the best position to do so. They are playing a little bit cautious because they're not winning too far ahead, as we see X Special brilliantly going back. But look at this.
We pick him up again. Reggie goes in with the Zonia's ultimate, and you can just see one Bad Brad dropping so very hard. Dyrus able to pick up those, but that's a double kill for him. I really was able to take down the Reginald. Now Urgot is going to be focusing down Ziggs, and this will be an ace for Team Solomon on top of Zion Spartan, and all they had to do is burn a Reginald for it. So a 5-for-1 exchange, 32 minutes in. Now, are they going to push straight in? Does look like they're going to go for a Baron. I don't know. They kind of undecisive. Is they going to split push? Does look like a split. Okay.
Yeah, Dyrus has a lot of ability power now, so he's just going to swap damage back and forth from Chaos. Of course, that Janna shield is going to help with reducing damage. Just a brilliant play overall, knowing what they're capable of. Odd1, of course, going to get this tower down and going to back off. They're going to get Baron. He might go for the enemy blue and take that as well, as it is up. There was a clairvoyance down from X Special. So they just, as I said in the previous games, they're really taking every single advantage that they are aware of that they could take. We do see one Bad Brad coming over here to contest it. It is warded, so Odd1 is going to back out. But, you know, during that last fight, X Special was in the Baron pit clearing wards. So even though they didn't have all 5 members stacked on top of each other, Team Solomon still engaged, and they knew that they had to fight, as I said, because Aurelia ult and the heal was down from Spellsy. So they really wanted to force that fight, and they did. And look at what they got out as a result. They got Baron, they got 1 tower, they have a lot more gold for the team across the board. They're looking at an 8,000 gold lead almost right now. So they're just doing really good, and Team Solid Mid most likely will be forcing another team fight here. Reginald has been every single time flashing in Zonias and getting a lot of members on average Joes to about half HP before he drops.
How many creeps have we farmed up? It's definitely looking like there's no 300s on the board, but we're very close with Dyrus sitting at 293. And overall, across the board, I would have to say that I think Solo Mid is looking a bit higher in the creep kills.
I do agree.
I don't know. Now I'm second guessing myself. 200,
Really?
almost 300, 200. Okay, I'm just gonna say they're even. But you know, we have not been derping out on the whole creep kill thing, and we have a lot of cash to our name. 52,000 to 44. 10,000, 13,000 gold accumulated so far for Dyrus. He is well above everyone else in this game, especially his counters. 11,000 there. Chaos with the flash ult into Spellsy.
Oh.
They've done that like 6 times on top of that, bro. And yeah, that's going to be a quick kill for them. That means, look at this. We're going to predict Reginald's going to go around. That poor minion had it coming with that binding, throwing out the tornado. Going to pick up Captain Korea. But this turret basically is forfeit at this point. We do have the Baron, and it's really hard to go 5-on-4 against a team that is really starting to assault your base.
I find it so funny that Team Soulmate are doing exactly what Average Joes were doing to them in that first game. Of course, Average Joes, if they lose this game, will go into Game 3. Team Soulmate feeling really happy. So I don't know how this Urgot pick is going to be for the next match. Is it going to be banned, or which team's going to get it? It's going to be really interesting to see. But, you know, that all is down, so Team Soulmate is most likely just going to try and get a binding grab on from Morgana. They do have all members up. Spellsy is spawned, so this is going to be just a lot of return poke back and forth. Team Soulmate, they are winning. They don't want to throw the game, but their top lane is pushing against their base, so they need to not let that go for too long. They do have Baron buff, so they are on a bit of a time frame right now, and we see them backing off. They're going to be taking Dragon and just playing it safe.
Well, there's no blue for them to steal quite yet, but you see the ward going down. Just going to be trying to keep tabs on that. And yeah, it does look like we are just going to play it a little safer. Now, it is looking very overwhelmingly in favor of TSM, but this top lane is definitely starting to be a little bit of a concern, and you can see Odd One coming over. He's going to pick that up. Red buff probably going to Zion Spartan. He's going to be happy with that. And I don't know, what do you think? An Atma's coming out for Zion Spartan? He has himself a chain vest and the frozen mallet, so kind of makes sense, I think, right?
He could be building it, yes. Chain vest, you know, might just be a placeholder item. Sometimes, you need that stats right away. You might not be building it into anything. You're just acquiring on just to get the stats, as I said. So it could be, could not be. We don't know exactly until we see the item being purchased. But either way, all of these players are now getting into their 5th and 4th item slots, so they're going to be really strong. We have most of the members hitting level 18. We have Spellsy on level 12 to X Special on level 13. So the supports are not just there yet, but we do have a lot of members from Team Soulmate at level 18. So they do have that little bit of a advantage as far as their spells and ability. Now X Special is going to be roaming around here. Very dangerous. We did see him get caught in that exact position there a few games ago. He does know that there is a ward there, so Team Soulmate is aware, but Average Joes, you know, they're holding their line. They're staying there in mid lane, and they're just gonna wait here to see if they can maybe make an opportunity to catch Team Soulmate off guard.
Now we do have a few wards out, but this is the vision right now of just your Average Joes, and it's pretty limited to their side of the river. It's whatever the creeps are plus those 2 wards. We have had X Special roaming, as you did say, picking up a lot of those. I gotta say, you know, whoever picks up these oracles is really in for a feast, because we've just been eating all those wards all game, so much money return out of it. And now Dyrus just gonna hold this bottom line, so we're waiting for something to happen here from Team Solo Mid. Could be another Baron, could be just waiting for a last item to pick up. Dyrus has just destroyed that bottom lane. He's gonna head on back, and okay, well, whatever they're waiting for, they're gonna keep waiting. That Baron should be up between 1 and 2 minutes now. Should be about 1.
I know what they're waiting for. They're waiting for the flash on Urgot to get another play, just as they did that last time.
3, 2, 1. All right, do something. Go. There's that blue, that board going down, telling people, hey, it's gone. Yeah, not contested.
So we do see Average Joes now is aware that Team Soulmate is going to be pushing up here, trying to create some opportunity. The lanes are not that push, however, top lane is going to be pushing in Team Soulmate's favor, so they might push here onto the mid tower, get a little bit of poke on and transition to top lane to then, you know, split Average Joe's, catch them off guard, force a team fight. Who knows? We will see. They are sneaking back and forth between that bush. Chaos does have his flash and ult up. He is building a little bit tanky, and there's the ward out from both sides.
Oh, dear. Yeah, we definitely have the ult. There's the flash coming back. Spellsy again getting focused down. No Tarek for you. And that is what TSM says. So now we do have a 5-on-4 situation, but there is no Baron popped, though we are making a beeline for it. We could have this timed out extremely well, and bam, look at that. It spawns. Team Solo Mid are going to try to take this down so very quickly, but just your average Joes, they're not done yet. They're going to be making their way over here. At least we got one bad Brad over there. He's going to throw down that ward. We're going to try to deny it as quickly as we can. The binding going out will land on top of him, but there won't be any kind of big follow-up unless Reginald wants to flash over, and that might be suicide. Odd1 throwing out the ultimate, trying to deny the vision. They do not get any kind of steal, and now there we go. Reginald flashing over with the ultimate into Zonia's, but he just gets melted by Zion Spartan. Captain Korea is a big target right now, and Dyrus will handily take him down. We don't have any pool, but we do have a Zonia's, and now a heal coming out from X Special. We gotta wait for the rest of the TSM team to get up here. There we go. Odd1 flashing in, taking down the Zion Spartan, and now Spellsy is back up, but we are gonna have a flash out from Corky, and they will be the two lone defenders against this very healthy Team Solo Mid, now Baron team.
Yes, Reginald did make a little bit of a poor play flashing over the wall there to ult Zonia's, but it was not that big a deal because he did get a kill from Ziggs as a result, as well as the Aurelia. Dyrus did follow through, and then finally Odd1 came up to support. So they just did a good job there with handling that fight. They, you know, caught Spellsy, they took Baron, but look at this. We do have Chaos ulting
right on top of that Spellsy. Yeah, Odd1, however, is going to get out of that. Spellsy's not looking so healthy. That X Special, but a kill on the board for him. Dyrus is going to be able to take out Corky, and that will be an ace. A very belated ace, but still an ace nonetheless. One inhib down, two towers, the other inhib about to drop, and Team Solo Mid able to bounce back very nicely into victory here for game number 2. And that's kind of what I'm reading here. Do you see victory? I kind of see victory.
Yep, I believe that Average Joe's doesn't really have the best position right now to make a comeback. Baron is down. They have such a disadvantage as far as gold, 18,000 gold behind, so there isn't really much opportunity for them to create some kind of advantage for themselves and the team. They may have to group up as 5 and possibly roam through, but X Special, one of the best supports in the game, he's going to be on top of his map control. He's going to be warding. He does have that Oracle. Reginald and X Special are going to take this red here and deny that, just as they're doing, taking every single buff. Reggie misses his binding, but he's going to finally pick that up. There we go. So, yeah, I'm really worried for Average Joe's, I'm sorry. They don't really have the best position right now in the game. They are behind so much, so we should see if there's anything they can do right now to come back into this game.
29-12, 70k to 50k. We have a surrender vote. Manor ult at the end there, Captain Korea, but that's going to be a 5-for-0 give up. Oh my god, what's she doing to that Nexus? Anyways, Team Solo Mid ties up the series 1-1, which means hallelujah. Game number 3 for that $5,000. That's how it should be. Should be. So, guys, we're going to announce some of those Facebook winners. We're going to get this game set up. That was impressive. That's all I can say to that. It was impressive.
I'm really excited to see what's going to happen in this next game as far as the Urgot champion. You know, who's going to pick it, who's going to ban it. And I believe that's been the decider for these last 2 matches. Just Urgot proving to be so strong. I have never really seen him be viable in any of the tournament match. But both teams, you know, Chaos hasn't really played Urgot that much. but he did a fantastic job. You know, he understands the build. He did come across having the most kills in that game, so he did extremely well. And of course, Zig did extremely well for Average Joe's. He played an excellent Urgot that first game, and so we've seen both players on AD playing excellent with Urgot. Damage done for that game. Dyrus did do the most, so even though he made a few mistakes that game, he did make up for it and did play really well.
290,000 damage? What? Yeah, alright, so guys, we're going to get game number 3 going. We're going to contact the teams. It might take a few minutes to collect their thoughts, but we will be here. Game number 3 will be happening tonight in just a few moments. First of all, we're going to get a few words from our sponsors, get a drink, get some popcorn, go to the washroom, grab a friend, come on back, because we'll be here. FourCourtJester and Phantom Lord. And, of course, you know, we still have to tell you guys who won that Facebook contest. So don't go anywhere. We'll be here, and we'll see you in a few minutes.